just a small
You're
town
listening to
girl.
Sunny Side Up with Adam and Kim, only on CJLO 1690 AM. This girl in Mississippi was sent to the wrong prom. Now, if you remember the story, the teenage girl who wanted to take her girlfriend to prom. Do you remember that story?
Yes.
Happened like a couple of weeks ago. Well, the prom happened, and it turns out that sometimes the parents can even be crueler than the children in the high school.
What?
So, to recap the story just a little bit,
Constance McMillen
is a lesbian student at Mississippi High School, and she made national headlines when the school canceled the prom when she tried to bring her date, her lesbian date. 'Cause
Who
she's a
wanted to
lesbian.
wear a suit.
Which isn't such a big deal. I mean, women wear pants all the
Yeah,
time.
a girl who was not gay wore a suit to my prom and it was fine. Big deal.
A judge said that the school's actions were unfair and that she would be allowed to attend the new prom that the parents were organizing. However, and this is the new development, the teenage girl, now says that she was misdirected instead a fake prom, which only 5 students attended. Meanwhile, the rest of the high school partied somewhere else with the parent-organized prom, and that's where the whole high school was. McKinnon said that she actually tried to ask students for information of how to get to the other prom, and she was just sent somewhere else.
I wonder who those 5 other students were. Were they lured there under false pretenses as well, or were they like, okay, you have to keep her here as long as possible?
It's just the worst thing. I mean,
That's
is this
so
first of all, is this
mean.
hateful? It's mean, but is it hateful?
I think so.
Because they're discriminating against her sexual orientation.
Yeah.
So is that a hate crime?
It's
Although
just-
there's no physical violence involved.
It's just plain downright bullying. And from parents, really? So did they do this out of spite, or they're just hey, we don't want her to be at this prom, so we're gonna set up this fake one and
Well, I can understand that she went on all the talk shows and whatever. She was very heavily publicized, and they weren't happy probably that she went and spoke about their school this way. I mean, that's.
well, so then if you're not happy about it, don't do those things to be spoken about.
I mean, they shouldn't have done the things in the first place.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Right. That didn't make any sense. They should do those things to be spoken about. God.
Yeah, but I mean, if they, if they're so mad that she's speaking out, then you shouldn't have done those actions or acts in the first place.
Now,
did that make more sense?
It did. Well, but why do parents feel this way? I mean, because I guess if the parents feel this way, it's kind of instilling in their children the same feelings.
Yeah.
But what are they worried about that if a lesbian girl and her girlfriend go to prom?
I don't know. Do they think it's contagious? Do they think that they're gonna influence their children? How
I think the
freaking
really
close-minded.
Right. I think the really big misconception is that they think that because they're lesbians that they will bring rampant sex onto the school campus.
You think that's it?
I think there's this image of gay people or homosexuals as hypersexual to the point of being not discreet and just bringing it and pushing it onto people and just making out in front of people and
You think that
performing oral sex in bathrooms and whatnot.
of homosexual couples? Because there are a bunch of heterosexual couples who are up against lockers, even in high school or even college or university. I'm like, get a room.
I haven't seen it in university, actually. I've been quite
I see
fortunate.
those little couples nuzzling. Makes me sick.
Would you be that kind of couple?
No.
No?
No, because I feel like people are just putting on a show. If you I'd like to see those people behind closed doors. They probably are sitting a freaking yards away from each other, have nothing to speak about, and they're probably arguing, completely upset with each other. But in front of people, it's let's act like we're the perfect couple.
Okay, so you're not talking about hypersexuality. You're just talking about
Oh,
coupley-
both, whatever.
Whatever. Now, I think it's also unfair to criticize a school too harshly if the U.S. President, Barack Obama, doesn't take a strong stance for gays in the country. Don't Ask, Don't Tell has still not been repealed. Let's make this clear. It hasn't been repealed. He said it from the get-go in his campaign that that's one of the first things he would do in getting in office. He'd fix healthcare.
Well, see, now he's
Yeah, well, he
delivered.
kind of messed up healthcare, but whatever. Something was achieved. And he said he would repeal the act. Don't Ask, Don't Tell. But he hasn't done it. He's put a whole year-long review on the whole thing. And now there's reports coming from military sergeants saying that if the act is repealed, then they won't allow gay soldiers to sleep with straight soldiers in the same barracks. I mean, is that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
It's disturbing that these people have such closed minds. How are they any different from a heterosexual couple? Get over it.
Well,
Honestly, get over it, America.
Get over it, America, but America can't get over it if the president doesn't set precedents. The American president, Barack Obama, has to take a stronger stance, and he has to say, you know what, screw this damn panel review. We don't need it because there's just going to be a bunch of arguing and nothing's going to get done for another year when we'll actually have to make the hard decisions. I'm going to make the decision right now. I'm going to sign the damn repeal and it'll be done because that's all he needs to do. He needs to sign the repeal.
Are you sure? Because I feel like there must be something...
He does, but to please everyone in the country, he has to set this whole long process where the situation will be reviewed. And it even shows that a lot of conservatives don't care that gays fight in the military.
Really?
Right, because what does it matter if they go and fight overseas? They're not even in your country. They're fighting overseas. I mean, some of them want to just stick to their conservative goals, but I think a fair amount do think that gays should be in the military. So if the president can take a strong stance, how can we expect schools to not discriminate against gay students or homosexuals in general?
Mm-hmm.
How can we expect something more of parents and students in Mississippi that we can't expect from our president? If you can't give respect and repeal this act, then how can you expect students and parents in Mississippi or anywhere else in America to give respect to gay students?
I don't know if it's students or just youth in general, but there's this students or kids can send in questions that are going to be asked to President Obama, so you should send one in. Like, Barack, listen, gays in the military, come on, get a move on.
And you know what? He's probably going to have some very clear, polished answer that'll just smooth over all the rough issues that we're not dealing with in
well, if no one
the
asks
country.
it, then, maybe this isn't an issue that people feel so passionately about, and maybe it should be raised again. And I think that should be a question that someone asks him. You should really submit a question.
You know what? I think I will. I think I'm going to submit a sunny side up question. But the girl didn't get to go to her prom, and that's really the end result.
Up happening?
She went to the other prom. She was redirected to somewhere else.
But did she stay there the whole night, or she was kind of like, this is odd?
No. She asked where the real prom was. They wouldn't tell her. She went somewhere else, and that was it. She didn't end up going to the real prom.
That's so sad.
Which is sad. I mean, was the prom so special for you that if you missed it, it would have been so devastating to you? I mean, it's clearly devastating for her, but was your prom what you thought it would be?
Basically, yeah. Got a nice dress, ate some good food, danced a little. And then afterwards, we rented a bunch of friends. We rented a chalet and stayed up north for the weekend. I think it's a nice bookend to your high school education.
You know, I want to tell this girl, what's her name? Constance. I want to tell you, if you're listening in Mississippi, or wherever you are.
I'm sure she is.
Or whatever talk show you're on right now, I want you to hear this. Prom is completely overrated. My prom, they served us cold noodles. We bought expensive suits for no good reason. The pictures I had me with braces in them that I will never look at again. And I paid way too much for a limo that everyone fought in, and there were fights at prom, and the after party kind of sucked, and someone threw up on the floor, and they had to cancel the after party at like 2 a.m. So it really wasn't that much fun.
Yeah, but I guess...
And you know what? You're not missing out on something, and you know what? You're going to be one of those people that do well in life, and all the haters out there, they'll do poorly in life, and you can look back on them and laugh. So I hope you do, and you didn't miss anything at prom, honestly.
Yeah, but see, not everyone feels like you do. And I think it's a bigger thing in the States. You know, like all those American Pie movies. And I think prom is just a rite of passage. More so in the States than here. And not everyone has braces at prom, Adam.
Well, I did, and the pictures just aren't pretty. And they served us cold pasta. What is this?
Where
cold
was
pasta?
Your prom?
At the Intercontinental Hotel downtown. And you know what? We were in the atrium, and it was next to a Harvey's. In the atrium. Like, I could walk 5 feet into a Harvey's restaurant.
Well,
like,
then
we were in a mall, basically. You know, we basically had our prom in a food court. It was pathetic. So it isn't something to look forward to, and you should just move on from these people. Forget the haters.
I had a good time. I liked it.
Because you were a popular girl. Move on. But if you're a popular girl, you shouldn't be having sex with your teacher.
No, Yale's extracurricular activities are about to change. Student-faculty sex is off the table.
What?
Or the desk.
Oh, Cassie!
Students at
Good
Yale...
job. High five on that one.
I thought you'd like that one.